Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your WWE NXT Event Center report. And now here is the man to bring you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1637 of the show. And this will be the last video for the day until tomorrow, as I'm trying to get everything caught up. And I figured I would try again, trying to do wrestling review after the show is over. And I usually try to do it, and I'm more alert during the day, but at night sometimes you're winding down. So let's kick it off NXT style. As you know, Metaphor's Last Legend, Jakara Jackson, and Fatal Influence had some words before their matchup, and they had a matchup representing the Fatal Influence will be JC Jane and Fallon Henley. Jasmine Nix in their corner, and Jasmine Nix got involved during the matchup and ended up costing Last Legend and Jakara Jackson, as JC Jane and Fallon Henley pick up the victory. And Ashante the Adonis was talking to Eddie Thorpe about how he's picking up the chicks and how he's doing the DJ thing and what he's there for. And then Idris Nofe was texting, going into a room, and then Brooks Jensen followed him, grabbed a steel chair, and you hear screams and bangs, and Eddie Thorpe tried to stop Brooks Jensen, but it was too late. Idris Nofe was taken out by Brooks Jensen. Then there was another matchup. Carmen Petrovic and Izzy Dame, as you know, because of the attack in the parking lot from last week, Carmen Petrovic was out of the gauntlet match for the Women's Championship #1 contender spot, which eventually is won by Jada Parker. More on her. And finally, Carmen Petrovic has some payback, and she did get her payback, as Carmen Petrovic did defeat Izzy Dane. Izzy Dane, next time, don't be too arrogant. Then the No Quarter Catch crew and the D'Angelo family were getting ready for their matchup. It seemed like Ren Sinclair and Charlie Dempsey had a little spat with being a leader and all. It I don't know if you wouldn't be. And Ren Sinclair thinks that because she took the credit for Charlie Dempsey winning the championship, but you want to lead? Well, lead on. So, as you know, Tavia Heights is still in Japan during a special trip there, so we don't know when he's going to come back. And we all don't know what happened to Damon Kemp. I don't know if he was released by the WWE or what, but if he's on the main roster, I wouldn't be surprised if American Made would recruit him. And they're going to need somebody, because I think they're down a guy against the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six, you got Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Dexter Loomis, Joe Gacy. You have Nikki Cross. Meanwhile, American Made's got the Creed brothers, Ivy Nile and Chad Gable. 5-on-4. Is Damon Kemp going to be the fifth person to join up? Who knows? But all I know is American Made may need a fifth guy. Fifth person. And that could be Damon Kemp. We don't know. But however, Sarah Schreiber had a sit-down interview with Jada Parker. And Jada Parker said, did accomplish a lot while she was a soccer player in high school and in college, and decided she wants to be part of NXT. She had a tryout. She ended up making it. And then Roxanne Perez interrupts the interview, kicks Sarah Schreiber out, sits down, starts talking a little trash, giving her a little props. And then, after Roxanne Perez says some harsh words to Jada Parker, she goes, "I'm about to slap the taste out of your mouth." And then Roxanne Perez said the wrong thing. I like to see you try. Bam! I'm like, oh! I heard that slap heard around the world. I got Gunther's chocolate bag. Never make Jada Parker angry, and she'll slap you across your face so much. And all of a sudden, Jada Parker looks at somebody and goes, "Hey, what are you looking at? Hey, I know about you. I heard about you. You might get..." And then all of a sudden, you see Roxanne Perez going, "What the?" And looks at who is Jada Parker? Who was Jada Parker talking to? And who was Roxanne Perez looking at? A lot of people saying it's Stephanie Vaquer. It could be Julia. It could be the newcomer Delta from Australia. We don't know who. Is this person going to arrive at No Mercy? And you know Julia's contract with Japan is up. And in Marigold, now she's on her way to America. I think she's saying all her goodbyes. If she couldn't come to No Mercy to Denver on time, I see her and Stephanie McCare making their debut in the CW when NXT moves to the CW network. Can't wait for that. So I'm really, really excited. So who knows? There's lots of possibilities, and they're endless, folks. And in the 6-person tag, the D'Angelo family, that will be Stacks, Channing Stacks, Channing Stacks Lorenzo. I should say, I won't say Channing Tatum. Hello. You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I bet they make a name for myself here. Let's let the people remember what happened here today. Anyways, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, Adriana Rizzo, and Luca Crucifino versus No Quarter Catch Crew, Miles Bourne, Charlie Dempsey, Brent Sinclair, and the D'Angelo family did pick up a victory after a little bit of miscommunication, despite the fact that Tony D'Angelo had to step away because a couple of his guys told him, Don, you got to see this. Well, more on that situation. Kelly Kincaid interviews Pete Dunne, as Pete Dunne is still trashing Trick Williams, and I think next week he's facing Trick Williams one-on-one. We'll see what happens. More on Trick Williams. Ava confronted Ethan Page about his actions with the referees last week, and she said, better get out of here. Better get out of here. Ethan Page wanted to get suspended so he doesn't defend the title. Oh, no, you're defending the title. I just want one little minor detail just right now. In the face-off, Zachary Wentz and Wesley, this was heartbreaking to see because MSK was one of the fastest rising teams in NXT. And then Zachary Wentz got released because his ex-wife posted a picture of him doing the having the Hitler look and the Nazi salute, and that I think I blame his ex-wife more than I do Zachary Wentz, because I think his ex-wife was being, I think, jealous or being upset with Zachary Wentz and tried to do everything she can to ruin his career. And you probably thought the picture deleted, but So, anyways, but Zachary Wentz did own up to his mistakes. He says, "I screwed it up. It's my fault. I figured, you're about to quit for a third time. We didn't want." So he was really heartbroken about this. And then Wesley goes, "Well, you and I were on different levels, and I'll show you why. I'm on a higher level than you are." And referees separate them, and Zachary Wentz was getting emotional about this. So that is going to be a heck of a fight, but it's going to get ugly at the same time. Meanwhile, Trick Williams walked in the NXT arena and backstage, and Joe Hendry says, "Hey, thanks for having my back out there. No problem. And remember, I'm going to promise you this: if I win the title, you'll be the first one to get your shot. All right, then. I'm going to hold you to it. Remember, whoop that trick, And good luck in your concert tonight. The concert's going to be fun. Trust me on this one." Kaylani Jordan, now, she's going to face somebody that Wendy Chu has chosen. As you know, Kaylani Jordan, the North American Women's Champion, is going to defend her title this Sunday against Wendy Chu. And it was like, which one of your demonic friends? And then the lights went down, and all of a sudden, she looked at a hooded figure and just told her basically just gesture, go. The hooded figure walked out, and guess who it was? None other than TNA Knockout Rosemary. I'm going, holy shnikey. Rosemary, Miss Kaylani Jordan, best of luck to you. I believed at that time Wendy Chu had an ace up her sleeve in Kaylani Jordan. In Rosemary, excuse me. Young Kaylani Jordan is going up against a wrestling veteran, former TNA Knockouts champion, and a woman who is basically out of her mind. And there was a heck of a matchup. Kaylani Jordan held her own, but she pinned Rosemary. That's a huge deal, because she's only, Kaylani Jordan's only young in her career. And then after she won, the lights started going down a little bit, and then you hear laughter, possibly Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu did attack her from behind. And then Rosemary, I thought she was going to grab the North American title and look at it and wanting it, but then she handed it over to Wendy Chu, who held it in her hand. while Kaylani Jordan was coughing away after that sleeper hold, and it says good night. And I'm telling you something right now. This is going to be the most insane thing ever. Who is going to be next from TNA to show up? Why are they going to show up at No Mercy? Who knows for sure. And that type of deal. Oro Mensah did console Jakara and Lash for losing the matchup against Fatal Influence. And as he was talking, he said, it was something my dad would say. And then Lexis King interrupts him, starts disrespecting him. And then the Oro Mensah somehow pull a Christian Cage out of this one. Goes, you know, I'm talking to somebody who doesn't have a father figure. Both men just fought it out, man. They brawled it out. And I was like, yep, you set that one up. Anyways, Chase U was still celebrating the title win, but then, Duke Hudson and Ryan Osborne kind of felt bad they lost the matchup. And Rajana goes, no worries. We're still champs. We're going to sell it. And then D. Hale's like, we're going to celebrate and all. Nathan Frazier and Axiom interrupted the proceedings, telling them that Chase U is going to come crumbling down. And then walked out. As you know, the tag match, the rematch, will happen at No Mercy. Then Malik Blade went one-on-one with Brooks Jensen, and Brooks Jensen did pick up the victory over Malik Blade. And then Sarah Schreiber interviewed Javon Evans, and he's going up against Joe Coffey of Gallus, and he says he'll be ready. Then Hank Walker and Tank Ledger were talking about, I think their TikTok or whatever site they have on. He says, how many views, want to get more? OTM stepped up and say, hey, we're going to be next in line for those belts and all that. Hey, we picked up a victory over the Good Brothers, and yeah, so we did that too. So I think OTM versus Hank and Tank, that'll be a huge deal. Sign that matchup. And then D'Angelo walked back into his restaurant and said, hey, Don, we didn't want to bother you like this, but he took your room. Who did? He opened up the curtains to his room. Obafemi. I'm like, ooh, boy. Does Obafemi realize what he did? I feel like Obafemi, look what you did. Anyways, and so Obafemi and Tony D'Angelo talk. Is that, Tony D'Angelo said he kind of knew this was inevitable. The interruptions, customer time, you coming here, give him a little props. I don't need your props. I don't need anything. You know what? This is going to be a fight. Obafemi will be put to the test, I do believe. Then the Joe Hendry concert. And they had a song. And they're going to give you a little bit of chorus. So here we go. Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. I love Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so Ethan Page, of course, they had Ethan Page dressed in a Bowser mask and lifting weights without his shirt on. Hilarious. And Ethan Page is like, why are you doing this to me? You're putting incriminating evidence. Blah, 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 blah. And everybody's still singing in the background, Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. Oh, yeah. I said, Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. I love Joe Hendry, man. That guy's hilarious. But then as Ethan Page still whines and complains, Ava interrupts Page. And he says, you know what? Because of your blatant actions and disrespect towards our officials, I'm naming a special guest referee. And here he is right now. And here, Trick Williams' music. Trick Williams will be the special guest referee for the NXT title match at No Mercy. And then Ethan Page went nuts and tried to go after Joe Hendry. Hendry responded back and ended up hitting him with a standing ovation choke slam. And then both Williams and Hendry shrugged their shoulders, hooked a leg, 1, 2, 3. Bell rang, even though it wasn't an official matchup. because Vic Joe said that could happen this Sunday, and then Joe Hendry held up the title and starts going like this, and you see Trick Williams going. So, and Trick Williams even said, "I believe in Joe Hendry." And then Pete Dunne in the end says, "Trick, I'll let you off, but you won't make it to Tuesday." I wonder what he meant by that. If I were Pete Dunne, I would worry about being the Intercontinental Champion before going up against Trick Williams. All right, one more thing I'm going to do, and this is simple. I'm going to do my NXT No Mercy picks and predictions right now. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish it off. As you know, I'll read off the card to you, just in case you don't know. The NXT title on the line, Ethan Page versus defending it against Joe Hendry. The women's title will be on the line, Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker. The North American title, both versions of the North American title on the line. The men's side, Obafemi defends against Tony D'Angelo, while the women's side, Keilani Jordan defends against Wendy Chu. Tag title in a rematch on the line, Chase Hughes, Andre Chase, and Ridge Holland defends it against Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And a little bit of a grudge match, Zachary Wentz goes one-on-one with Wesley. MSK explodes. So, now, Ethan Page and Joe Hendry, I'm going to make this matchup my prediction right now. But here's the fun part. What if Trick Williams betrays Joe Hendry and said, "I want to face Ethan Page"? And that could be a thing too. So, but Trick Williams is unbiased. But I am hoping, even though Page might retain, but I'm going with Joe Hendry on this one. I want to see Joe Hendry walk out with the championship and bring it at TNA. Because I think Joe Hendry winning the title will still connect NXT and TNA. Trust me. Roxanne Perez and Jada Parker for the women's championship. I'm picking Roxanne Perez, even though because Parker's inexperience will possibly cost her in the end. Roxanne Perez is more experienced than Jada Parker. Obafemi defends it against Tony D'Angelo. I think it's time. I believe Tony D'Angelo is going to be the new North American champion. And if that's the case, he'll be one title away from becoming the first ever NXT Grand Slam champion. Because Tony D'Angelo is already a tag team champion, a Heritage Cup champion, and if he wins the North American title this Sunday, he'll be one title closer. That's what I'm thinking. Keilani Jordan and Wendy Chu. Well, I sense another title change. Wendy Chu will defeat the inexperienced Keilani Jordan. Chase U versus Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I see Chase U retaining. And then finally, Zachary Wentz versus Wesley. I hate to do this, but I'm going to go with Wesley on this one. Because he's probably going to pull something that he's never done before. So, 6 matches total. 5 are title matches. Every title on the line from NXT on the line, so that's going to be something else. All right, so Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry for the NXT title with Trick Williams, special guest referee. I see Hendry winning it. Roxanne Perez defending the women's title against Jada Parker. I see Perez retaining. The men's North American title on the line, Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo. I see D'Angelo picking up the upset. Women's North American title, Keilani Jordan versus Wendy Chu. I see Chu taking the title. Chase Hughes, Andre Chase, and Ridge Holland defending it. Tag titles against Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I see Chase Hughes retaining. And Zachary Wentz one-on-one with Chris Lee. I see Wesley winning. So that is my predictions, picks and predictions for NXT's No Mercy. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm hoping you guys have a wonderful day. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Beaufort Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.